Hey there, Marcus here. So I've been on vacation, started a new job, and I've been sick, so it's been a while. But now I'm gonna show you something uh, completely new that it has some connections to AI interpolator, but it's a new concept, which is this part of the Huggingface module, which makes it possible to use Drupal, not have a GPU at all, and to be able to fine-tune something and take that fine-tune model and use it inside Drupal to generate stuff. And this is completely inside the GUI, no coding needed, no server setup knowledge or anything like that needed. So the reason that it's in the Huggingface module is basically that anything that it generates will be hosted at Huggingface. So if you're not aware of these concepts, basically Huggingface is you can think of it as GitHub for AI models. So it's a repository where you can host your private AI models, but it also has a lot of public AI models. It has open source AI models. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take one of these models, in this case Stable Diffusion, any of the different versions, which is a text-to-image model, and teach it a new concept. So that's what you can see that I have done here. So I have fine-tuned on images of myself. I've called myself Marcus Johansson JJJ. So it's its own token because there is a famous Marcus Johansson, an NHL player. So I needed to basically have my own token, not to dilute with the knowledge about him. And then I can write something like that, a photo of me in front of the Taj Mahal, and it creates this, right? And I can use the AI interpolator to also run this specific model and do it inside Drupal as well. So that's basically what I'm gonna showcase today. So how this works for you as a user is basically you install Huggingface module. There is a page, you go to that, you describe your new concept, you describe which base model you want to base it on, you upload a lot of images, you crop these to focus on whatever it is you're trying to generate. You click on start fine-tuning and you wait some time, and then it's gonna show up on Huggingface, and then you can use the AI interpolator to generate images with this. So what's happening in the background then is this, that when you click generate, it's gonna start a VM in Runpod. And Runpod is just a cloud provider that specializes in AI. So it specializes in GPU servers, so servers you most likely don't have available, and that are freakishly expensive. And that is the other reason why I chose Runpod, because Runpod has a credit system, which means that you have to upload credits to be able to use it. Because even though I'm doing open source, and open source clearly states I'm not responsible for how you use my code, right? I don't want to have this scenario that someone looks at this video, starts fine-tuning something, there is some bug in there that I didn't know about, and it just dies halfway through, and they don't understand the concept of cloud at all. So they don't understand that, oh, there was the garbage collection didn't work here, so there's still a server running. And these servers, as I said, are freakishly expensive, and this person at the end of the month all of a sudden, get a bill of $2,000-$3,000. I don't want that to happen. So because of the credit system, it means that you upload $10, for instance, worst case you lose $10 if there's a bug like this. But the module also has a very clear checkbox that you have to check, that you're aware that this might cause costs, and that you should also manually go in and check. So the VMs are removed automatically, otherwise you should remove them manually. But anyway, this creates this pod, takes this Docker image as the image, and just so you know, I do everything open source. There is open source repo for this if you want to see what the Docker image is doing. So it's not, stealing your images or something like that. Or more importantly, it's gonna have the Huggingface API token on there, so I don't steal that, of course. So you can see that it's not doing that. Does the fine-tuning. When it's finished with the fine-tuning, takes this model and pushes it to the Huggingface repo. So that's what it's doing. And the advantage with this, of course, is that you don't need to learn Python. A lot of this stuff is it's not very user-friendly. So a lot of the AI scientists, which are not usually developers, they are very, 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 very good mathematicians, uses Python because that's usually a language, scripting language that you learn. And because of this, they might write a script that, generates this, but they don't think about usability at all. So because of this, you kind of need to know Python to do this. Otherwise, there are some GUI tools for it, but most of it is anyway based on Python. At best, maybe you can get a Docker image, which you can just start. So in this case, you don't have to think about it, and plus you don't have to have the GPU server then. There is one more thing before I'm gonna show you how to set this up then, and that there is this affiliate link. I'm not in any way trying to get rich on this, then I wouldn't be doing open source. That would be very, very stupid. But when it comes to most of the AI modules, usually I can ask for, like, can I get a free account here just to try out some stuff, and sometimes they give it to me so I don't lose any money. In this case, I lose a lot of money testing around, and I want to do a lot more with Runpods in terms of, one, fine-tuning. So currently it's only doing image models. I want to be able to do large language models, which cost a lot more money because they require a lot of more memory, better hardware. And the other thing I have done privately or in the company I used to work for is working with Runpod serverless, which is a way where you can take a model, host it, but you only pay for when you actually use it. So it works similar to Amazon Lambda, just that it has a GPU. So I want to build open source stuff with Drupal around this as well, and it would be nice to not lose too much money on this. So if you're anyway interested in using this and you don't mind, then please use this link, because from everything that you spend I will get 3% in credits. So it's not money I get, I can take this out as money, but at least I don't lose as much money when I'm doing this open source stuff. So that's it. Let's get started then on how this works. So let's start this then. This is a plain Drupal standard profile admin toolbar installed, that's all. We just need the Huggingface module. I'm running ddev in this case, but whatever local environment you have, you just use Composer to get it right. Then the Huggingface module itself is just an API module, and this comes with submodules that can use it. So there's an augmenter plugin for it, a module for it. But what we're gonna do in this case, we're gonna use the Runpod fine-tuning module. That is a module that's using it, and the AI interpolator Huggingface module that's using it. And these have dependencies that doesn't get loaded automatically. So I will just get the base AI interpolator in this case. And also for the fine-tuning, I need image widget crop to be able to specify what part of the image that I want to fine-tune on, right? Then I just, after getting this, I click extend. Then there is Runpod fine-tune. I need to install an AI interpolator Huggingface. Those two modules are what I need, one to fine-tune and one to generate. This is going to install a lot of dependencies, as you see. Just approve that. And the next step is we have to go to web services Huggingface config. So we have to add a access token, so we're able to both will save the fine-tune model. Oh, sorry, did I click new organization? Settings is what we want, but also to upload, well, create the fine-tune, but also to read that fine-tune when we're using the AI interpolator. Access token, we create a new fine-tune here, fine-tune temp. I'm gonna remove this after so you can't copy it and use mine. We're gonna show that, copy, paste it here, save. And we need to do the same then for Runpod. It's important that you have money in your Runpod, otherwise this will not work. So you should fill up with like $10 there. That's under billing, I think. Anyway, I'm gonna click settings, API key, create one, read and write. Same thing here. It's gonna be gone by the time you see this. And this needs to be able to write, of course, because it needs to start servers. Then it's just under configuration, content authoring, fine-tune Dreambooth. This is going to have a fine-tune models later and Dreambooth LLMs and so on as a sub directory. But yeah, if you can think of a better place to put it, please let me know. So because I have the token, it knows that my namespace is Ivan Borin, Swedish comedian, by the way. And then I'm just gonna here create AirPods. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take a lot of images of this is getting recorded in the middle of April, so if you see this in the future, this might be completely off, but there's rumors of an AirPod earphone from Apple that's gonna have a display on the case. Some people have rendered images of this, and I want to take those and be able to generate my own images of the so-called future AirPod then. Visibility status I set to private. No, I actually will do this public, so if you ever go there, you can actually try this afterwards to see how great it works. Stable Diffusion 2 we're gonna base it on. Right now it's just 1.4 and 2. I'm gonna add, so you can add a lot more text to image models that's based on anything that Dreambooth then can fine-tune on. And this includes custom models as well, because if I fine-tune this AirPods and I realize I also want to fine-tune on a future iPhone that might get generated, but I want those two things in the same model, so I can have the AirPods with display and the iPhone next to each other, I will be able to fine-tune that concept on top of the model I already did write. And here we have to write something then that connects to it, so it's already stored here. A photo of the in-ear earphones. So this basically adds the taxonomy of what this is, right? This is part of the taxonomy in-ear earphones. And I just set a custom token to this, because AirPods already exists. And I could, of course, do AirPods with display, but it wouldn't be so certain if it's the AirPods with display that I'm uploading or if it's the actual concept of AirPods with display. So because of this, I generate a unique token. I don't think this token or this word has ever existed inside the training data, so that's why. Then I'm just gonna go here and upload a lot of images. Because I'm using Drupal here, it doesn't have to be PNG 512 or 7768 or whatever is the very specific things you need if you run this as a script. You can just upload any type of image, then image styles will take care of making this. So this will be the next step. There is advanced settings. If you're using Stable Diffusion 1.4, you could write RTX 3090 in this case, because you don't need such an expensive model. You don't need so much VRAM, and you can set something else there. If you're gonna use Stable Diffusion 3 was just released, if this will be able to fine-tune, it probably needs even more stuff. Then there's a lot of detailed fine-tuning parameters you can set here. You have to read about this. If you're not happy with the result, start reading about this and you might get better results basically. Anyway, we will just leave it as it is. Click to the next step, which is basically the cropping then. So we will make sure we just focus on the stuff. This is probably not going to be the best results, because sometimes, as you can see, the earphones are outside of the display case. Sometimes like this, I have to choose if I want some text in there or not. So if you want a perfect model, you should fix the images in Photoshop first. And in this case also, everyone is guessing different. You see, this is a monochrome display, this is a color display that's a square, this is rectangle, and so on. This will probably not be the best result, but I will just showcase this as an example of what you can do. And when I am finished with those, there is this checkbox that I need to check also. And so this is from my perspective what I talked about before, that you do understand that this costs money, this starts machines, and if something fails during this run, you have to manually go in and stop these machines. But anyway, I will click start fine-tuning now. This will take forever. I'm gonna fast forward this. I'm guessing with a Stable Diffusion 2 model it takes around 30 minutes. It's on step 2 now, waiting for the Runpod machine to build and start. So the funny thing is, if we go to Runpod and click pods now, all of a sudden you have a pod here. So it's actually starting this pod now. And this is then the place, if you click here and click stop, and then under here there's gonna be terminate pod if you ever need to do that manually, right? But anyway, this will take 20-30 minutes now, but for you it's gonna look like it takes 10 seconds. So we're finished. I will put a success message here. I realized I forgot that, and that's not very good that you don't get any feedback that it's done. But we're just gonna verify 2 things. So first we go to my pods, reload, and hopefully there's no pods left. So it has done the garbage collection, removed the pod. Double check this anyway and remove it if it's still there for whatever reason. You see it's costed me some money here. Then we're gonna go to Huggingface, go to my profile, and we have a new model called Ivan Boring AirPods. And actually, because we're using Stable Diffusion, in this case we can actually use the inference API here just to try it out. So we could try it here, a photo of the in-ear earphones, what did we call it? It's here, AirPods with display on a table. We just press here. This free version might or might not be available. It needs to start machine sometimes to be there. It worked in this case. So see, we have it here. I'm just gonna show you so we can compare. So we take Stable Diffusion to Huggingface. So we're gonna compare with the exact same phrase on the base Stable Diffusion 2. Let's see if this is started. No, otherwise it might take some time. Because then you can compare and see that it's not aware of this. So you see it kind of figures out it's earphones, right? But it's not the AirPods that we generated. So it has generated it here. I mean, it's not perfect, as I said before. You need to have better pictures to create a perfect model. You need more pictures than images than 10 as well. So anyway, we have now fine-tuned a model. So now comes next step. We want to start using this model as well, right? So I'm just gonna create a new content type here. I'm gonna call it AirPods image generation, right? And I'm just gonna disable some stuff here. And I'm not gonna do that much chaining. If you want to know how to chain stuff, look at my previous videos. If you like AI stuff, please subscribe. I will release a lot of Drupal AI videos in the future, hopefully as well. But if you want to know how to chain, so you can have stuff like, you know, asking in natural language for the leaked AirPods, and this becomes this token that we have AirPods with display. This is something OpenAI or some other LLM can fix for you before you create the prompt. But right now I'm just gonna create a plain text prompt. We take a long one. We'll call this image prompt, and we just save this. Oh, we should set it required maybe, so like we know we have to fill this out. And then I just create the image field, and that's where we want to generate this, right? So we take file upload image and we call this the generated image. I have it here in my history. And we're gonna use the AI interpolator here. So in this first case, I'm gonna show you how to use it for free. So we're gonna use Huggingface text to image, right? We use base mode and we use the image prompt, and we're just gonna copy it as it is. So we just use context, we're not gonna add anything else. We say 100 and we're gonna save it directly, and we're gonna use the free API inference in this case. And then we just need to basically search for our model here. So Ivan Boring Air pods. Oh, this might have a cache. Let's see if we can find it, at least if I save here. Yeah. So this might actually take some time before it shows up in the autocomplete because it's cached. But anyway, it's there. It's validating that it's there. And then we just need to create this. We need to add a title here because of we're using a node. Node is probably not what we should be using here. And then we're just gonna take this and on a table do the same thing again. Save. So if this gets timeout now, it's because you're using the free version, and the free version, you know, if they have service available, they will generate it, and that happened in this case. Sometimes they don't have servers available and you will get a timeout and then you have to redo it again. So say that you actually want this, but you want it stable. I will just show you how this works then. So what you can do with your private model now is you can take deploy and take an inference endpoint dedicated. You have to choose a machine here, and this depends on the model. So 16 gigabytes is okay, I think should be okay for Stable Diffusion inference, Stable Diffusion 2. We just, yeah, this are okay. I just make it public. Protected is okay as well because you're using the tokens. And I'm just gonna create this endpoint, and you see it costs 50 cents per hour. So make sure you turn this off because here there are no credits. This will actually just start costing money right away. And we just have to wait here, and this is now gonna create an endpoint then. And the only thing that's different is we go back to the content types, manage fields, the generated image, and under the settings, instead of API inference, we take dedicated inference, and we're just gonna have to copy this endpoint URL whenever it starts. Let's see, this might take some time to start maybe. And yeah, we have a generated image here that
doesn't do text very well, as you can see. So that's it basically. How you can fine-tune a model and use that model to generate custom images using some completely new fine-tune token, and also how you can set up dedicated machines that can do it then. So once again, thank you for watching. If you like it, subscribe, and see you in the next video.